Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Box Office Receipts for the weekend of November 15th, 2019. I'm your host, Hallie Callahan, and this week we got our usual weekend top 5, international updates, and what is coming out this week. So, let's head over to the weekend top 5. Opening in first place is Ford vs. Ferrari with $31.4 million. In second place is Midway with $8.5 million for a total of $34.8 million. Opening in third place, just barely missing second by $500,000, is Charlie's Angels with $8.35 million. In fourth place is Playing with Fire with $8.3 million for a total of $25.2 million. In fifth place is Last Christmas with $6.4 million for a total of $22.3 million. So besides first place, I got everything wrong. First, I did not expect Charlie's Angels to bomb like this. Now, it was only expected to do between 10 to 15 million, but it did not even hit 10 million. Really? Also, Midway held stronger than anticipated. I was also thinking good word of mouth would help Dr. Sleep, but it did not, as it came in at 6th place. Also, I thought The Good Liar would squeak in at 4th place, but came in at 7th with $5 million. Playing with Fire here is a bigger surprise, only dropping 34%. That's a good hold, and it looks like it is playing like a solid family movie during the holidays, but you have to wonder how much Frozen 2 will kill its legs. Let's go over some international numbers. Ford vs. Ferrari came in at $22.3 million internationally, for a worldwide opening weekend of $53.8 million. This is a very respectable opening, and if it holds well, will be the only real hit from Fox that Disney got. Charlie's Angels opened with $19.3 million for a worldwide opening weekend of $27.6 million. So the movie is doing better overseas than domestically, but with the weak numbers, can it hold it, or is it going to have a big drop? The Good Liar had a small opening in just a few countries for $3.9 million internationally, for a worldwide opening weekend of $9 million. This isn't bad yet, as it needs to open in quite a few more countries, and based on the movie, it should not have a big budget either. Dr. Sleep is now up to $26.9 million internationally, for a worldwide total of $52.3 million. It has now passed its budget, but really needs to end up between $100 million to $150 million worldwide to start making a profit, so it does have a ways to go. Midway is still doing well, with it at $38.2 million internationally for a worldwide total of $73 million. It's well on its way to pass $100 million, so it will be a decent hit for Lionsgate, which after Ugly Dolls and Hellboy bombing, they need another hit to balance it out. Last Christmas is doing okay, with it now at $12.9 million internationally for a worldwide total of $35.3 million. Terminator Dark Fate is now starting to slow down, with it now at $233 million worldwide. It should end up between $300 and $350 million worldwide, but that is still a steep drop from Genesis. Finally, let's talk about The Clown in the Room. Joker has now passed $1 billion worldwide. It is currently at $1.018 billion. To understand how big this is the first $1 billion R-rated movie ever, and it did so without the benefit of 3D showings or China release. This is now one of the biggest DC movies ever, and also one of the biggest comic book movies ever. So this is a big deal for Warner Brothers, who really needed something this year, and for comic book movies in general. Joker has shown that you can make a well-made movie about a comic book character that is darker and more mature, and the audience will come out to see it. I think between this and possibly Disney keeping Deadpool rated R, we could see some more rated R comic book movies. Opening this weekend, we got 3 new wider releases right before Thanksgiving. First up, we have the often delayed 21 Bridges. We then got a Tom Hanks movie with A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And then lastly, the mega movie of Frozen 2. Obviously, Frozen 2 is the big hit here. It will be breaking records left and right, but what about the other two? I think A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood will come out on top. It's Tom Hanks playing as one of the nicest people ever, especially in American culture. Now, 21 Bridges does look good. However, it just looks like another well-done cop action movie. Not really original. So my predictions for the weekend top 5 are: in first place, Frozen 2. Second place, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Third place, Ford vs. Ferrari. Fourth place, 21 Bridges. And in fifth place, Playing with Fire. So I think Ford vs. Ferrari will do between 15 to 20 million for a second weekend, and while it may come close, I do not think 21 Bridges will beat it. I'm also throwing Playing with Fire in as fifth place, because now with Ford vs. Ferrari and 21 Bridges, Midway has lost most of its audience. Also, for Frozen 2, I'm going to say around 130 million. I am thinking this will be big. And that's it for this week's episode of Box Office Receipts. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.